One crucial ability for growth is the ability to observe a seed grow. Whatever amazing you want to do, you have to work for it consistently, and that takes patience. I made the decision to adopt a new way of living, or more accurately, to incorporate a new practice into my life at the beginning of this year. And constancy was the new way of doing things, or living. I committed to putting in my best effort every day to complete certain tasks regardless of the situation. These included reading, working out, and keeping a notebook. Furthermore, I haven't regularly kept my pledge for more than 45 days. And by consistently, I mean every single day, whether it's on Sundays, on days when I'm feeling incredibly exhausted or melancholy, on days when I've got a cold or hurt my foot. I'm glad to report that I have absolutely no regrets about choosing to practice consistency. Thus far, a major influence on my life has been constancy. I can now organize my time more effectively. I've learned that most of our emotions are cyclical, much like the weather. It has also taught me many other things, like patience and adaptability. I'll be discussing some of the most significant things I've discovered and put into practice over my journey of consistency in this post, particularly with regard to exercise. Therefore, if you're already on the path to consistency, you may enhance it by including them. I think it will be simple for you to apply this advice to any activity you choose to bring or maintain consistency in, even though I'll be discussing more about maintaining consistency in exercise. Here are those lessons. 1. Set your why first. It goes without saying that being consistent should be one of your top goals. To avoid giving up on this journey when you are about to give up, you should first determine why you are embarking on it in the first place. To be honest, I started this path because I found it to be easier to maintain, as opposed to depending only on sporadic motivation. However, there are certain more advantages that I received, and following this trip, you can also receive. Clarity. By providing your day a framework and routine, consistency gives you a clear picture of what it would entail. You thus don't quickly become overwhelmed when anything out of the ordinary occurs. Removes comparison and perfectionism. Realizing that you're making an effort to reach your goal each day and that you're not comparing yourself to those who are more experienced in the field you're pursuing will also help you to stop being a perfectionist and comparing yourself to them. 2. Do something that you find optimal. Take up a somewhat intriguing task that interests you. It's reading and journaling, particularly reading, for me. No matter how awful my day has been, I can always get into a diary or start reading. Because I don't have to be strict about what I have to read or journal about every day, forcing myself to read or journal takes less willpower. I just start reading or journaling about whatever seems simple and interesting to me. Most of the time, I discover that I also read or journal the significant things shortly after. 3. Start small and standardize flexibility. List the steps you'll take to achieve your goal. Next, reduce those steps to a manageable assignment, one that is nearly impossible for you to neglect or fail at, and then find a way to justify your actions. Assuming you wish to begin exercising regularly, without missing a single day, not even Sundays, you can establish the following modest objective. Exercise for a minimum of 1 to 10 minutes, or perform 10 to 20 squats or push-ups. The same applies whether writing or reading. Spend at least one paragraph or page reading or writing. Don't, however, confine yourself to it. After you've become accustomed to this method of working on little chores, you can gradually increase it. However, rather than giving up on an activity entirely when you're not feeling your best, always have little chores available. Thus, when anything out of the ordinary occurs, don't be afraid to scale it back to those simple chores again. According to Jordan Peterson, doing something is better than doing nothing. Jordan Peterson. 4. Be disciplined with other usual things. Maintaining discipline in other daily activities, such as eating, sleeping, brushing your teeth, taking a bath, and getting up, is essential, since skipping out on one of these routines can have a significant negative impact on your consistency in achieving your goal. How is one expected to regularly do other activities if they are unable to find time for such routine ones? 5. Love the process, not the product. When someone begins anything with great enthusiasm, one of the biggest reasons they don't finish it consistently is because they were not considering the procedure itself, just the final outcome. Suppose you are constantly thinking about being slender and you want to work out every day to reduce weight. So, will you be able to work out on a regular basis? Probably not. I understand that envisioning your final destination gives you motivation. Let's be practical, though. It is ineffective to think or desire results unless your present expectations are met or you see results right away. However, as you realize you still have a long way to go, you will probably lose patience and give up, fretting about how far you've come. But what if you began to look forward to working out each day? What if, on that particular day, all you concentrated on was completing the exercise to the best of your ability and you stopped seeing your target as anything more than a rudder to help you stay on course? Well, then you will not get impatient with the end result and will get the end result just as a byproduct of focusing on the process itself. Or, as Thomas Sterner puts it in his book, The Practicing Mind, it's a paradox. When you focus on the process, the intended product takes care of itself with fluid ease. When you focus on the product of your effort, you immediately begin to fight yourself and experience boredom, restlessness, frustration, and impatience. The Practicing Mind, Thomas Sterner. When you let go of your attachment to the object you desire and make your desire the experience of staying focused on working toward your goal, you are fulfilling your desire in every minute, and you are patient with the circumstance. The Practicing Mind, Thomas Sterner. 6. Expect optimal performance over peak performances or perfect days. The second significant reason why so many people struggle to be consistent is that they constantly expect for great days or performances at their best. Being consistent is not like a short-distance sprint, but rather like a long-distance marathon. Although anticipating success or having high expectations for oneself is admirable, you cannot ignore the reality that there will be days when you are not at your best and will have many reasons to stray from your routine. As an example from my own experience, there have been days when I've been unwell, unhappy, tired, or at home recovering from a foot injury. Maintaining my consistency in reading and journaling wasn't a big deal, but I struggled a little bit in exercise as I wasn't physically fit. But I was still able to maintain my consistency in that. I pulled that off because I aimed for optimal performance, not peak performance on those imperfect days, which is exactly the foundation of my consistency's philosophy. I did just 20 push-ups and squats on days when I was sick. Likewise, I did some stretching and upper body workout when I had a foot injury for half an hour or an hour on some days. Likewise, I started again with less weight at the gym after I got a little relieved from fever or injury. I am aware that wasn't my best work, and it paled in comparison to the strenuous 1 to 2 hour workouts I can complete. Still, I was okay with that, because all I wanted to do was keep up my streak by showing up every day and doing what I could under the conditions. Therefore, rather than straying from your routine because you are unable to perform at your best on a given day, show up even on bad days and give it your all. 7. Show some empathy. Should you ever lose your momentum, you may become upset and critical of yourself. Don't let that, however, deter you from beginning over right now. Recall that instead of beginning at the beginning like a novice, you are investing your experience from the beginning. Regarding the newcomer, don't allow it to discourage or stop you if you find yourself surrounded by people who have been successful in something for a long time. And keep in mind that I am one of those folks that started from the beginning. It's never too late to start. According to a Chinese proverb, the best time to grow a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. That was my take on being consistent. Feel free to reply to me with any thoughts you have. If you know someone who would be interested in reading this, please forward this to them. I hope you will soon begin your journey of consistency or improve if you're already on one.